Imagine a Broadway juggernaut so daring that it casts black and brown actors as America's white founding fathers, fuses hip-hop with cabinet debates, and turns a Treasury Secretary into a rock star. Now ask yourself, could that same lightning-in-a-bottle phenomenon even be greenlit in 2025? But here's where it gets controversial. Some insiders insist the answer is a flat-out no, and their reasoning might surprise you. Let's rewind to May 12, 2009. In the chandelier-lit East Room of the White House, Lin-Manuel Miranda steps up to a lone microphone and unleashes what will become the opening salvo of Hamilton. Michelle Obama beams. President Barack Obama introduces the evening as a tribute to the power of words and music to help us appreciate beauty, but also to understand pain, to inspire us to action, and to spur us on when we start to lose hope. The clip is still on YouTube, https://www.youtube.com/watchvwnfmigne, and every time I rewatch it, I get goosebumps, partly from the realization that this moment could never be replicated today. That night wasn't just a one-off cameo. It was part of the Obama's White House Poetry Jam, a now legendary gathering that also featured jazz prodigy Esperanza Spalding, https://the unmistakable baritone of James Earl Jones, https://www.youtube.com/watchv, and spoken word powerhouse Maida Del Valle, https://www.youtube.com/watchv, WCZT, LB, 4YT. The East Room pulsed with possibility. The administration was literally rolling out the red carpet for artists who looked and sounded like the future. Fast forward to the present. The current White House is reportedly planning to host a UFC fight on the South Lawn, a www.espn.com/MMA/story/.559 White House going happen, and is allegedly nixed Kennedy Center honorees for being too woke. https nypost.com, 2025-08-15, U.S. News, Tom Cruise declined Trump's Kennedy Center honor invitation due to scheduling conflicts. The cultural temperature has flipped so dramatically that 2009 feels less like a decade ago and more like an alternate universe. And this is the part most people miss. Hamilton's Broadway premiere in 2015 arrived only 15 months before Donald Trump's election. The show's ecstatic reception, rap battles and powdered wigs, cabinet meetings staged like mixtape drops, wasn't just artistic triumph. It was a collective exhale from an America that believed progress was inevitable. Today, that optimism reads like ancient history. So could Hamilton be made today? The unfiltered answer is complicated. On paper, the same investors still chase the next big thing, and streaming platforms are desperate for event content. Yet the ecosystem that nurtured Miranda's vision, public arts funding, school outreach programs, a White House willing to spotlight experimental voices, has been throttled or politicized. In 2025, a show that reclaims the founding narrative for immigrants and people of color might be labeled divisive before the first workshop. Investors could flinch at Twitter storms, and regional theaters, already slashing budgets, might deem the material too risky. Here's the spicy take. Some critics argue Hamilton's very success is why it couldn't happen again, by proving that progressive, race-conscious storytelling can mint millions. The show inadvertently raised the bar so high that anything short of a cultural earthquake is now dismissed as niche. In other words, Hamilton became the victim of its own miracle. What do you think? If a young writer walked into a pitch meeting tomorrow with a hip-hop musical about, say, Frederick Douglass or Dolores Huerta, would the gatekeepers cheer or show them the door? Drop your hottest take below. Is the door genuinely closed, or are we just too timid to push it open? Maintaining fearless, independent journalism isn't cheap. If you want more deep dives that connect pop culture flashpoints to the political fault lines beneath them, subscribe today and unlock every investigative story and provocative commentary we publish.